Hey guys, welcome back to finally getting round to doing disc 2 of the Darren Hayes album, This Delicate Thing We've Made. The last couple of days have been bonkers, shall we say. Not want to touch on it too much, but put a post up about a guest that I've got coming on, and geez, oh man, the reaction has been mixed. It's yeah. So by the time this goes out, it'll be I don't know. To be fair, my head is absolute mince, but without a doubt, the show itself is going to be absolutely spot on. But as it stands right now, we are diving into disc number 2 of the album "This Delicate Thing We've Made" by Darren Hayes. If you're unfamiliar, I've put up disc 1 track by track. My opinion only. If you're not familiar with the album, I'll put the links to buy the album, to download the album, to stream the album. Honestly, do yourself a favour. It is banging. I might be a bit biased, because for all those who know me, Darren Hayes is like one of my favourite singer-songwriters. Like, this whole tattoo sleeve is all Darren related. But with that being said, let's dive in to disc number 2. Disc number 2 starts off with an absolute banger called "The Future Holds a Lion's Heart." Now, I've seen this song performed live, and oft it is an absolute banger of a tune live and even on the disc. Now, the song to me symbolises courage and bravery and resilience. Who doesn't like a track like that? Now, this is the disc 2 opener, and to me, it sets the tone. The lion's heart to me symbolises bravery and the willingness to face the future despite not really knowing what the actual future holds. The beat of the song is pounding. It's banging, to say the very least. The chorus to me gives a sense of just driving forward, reflecting on the idea of facing life's challenges straight on. And to me, the song is an absolute banger. I would recommend that. I would recommend listening to them in order. So, with that being said, we move on to track number 2, "On the Verge of Something Wonderful," which was the debut single from the album. And to me, the theme is self-discovery. It's an upbeat track. It captures the excitement and the vulnerability of being on the verge of something wonderful. Change, no, everybody likes change, and that's fine. The lyrics are beautiful, but again, I might just be biased. It's one of those songs that to me, it's emotional, and it just oozes spiritual awakening if you want to go down that road. But hey, we're always on the search for something wonderful, aren't we? Track number 3, "Neverland." A lot can be said about this track. To me, it's a song about lost innocence. It's inspired by, as you can gather, "Neverland" by Peter Pan. The track reflects, the idea to escape childhood pain and the complexity of growing up. The melody evokes tension between wanting to hold on to youth and the inevitability of growing up. There's a few lines in the track that are very personal to Darren, based on his kind of upbringing, and listen. Listen. Next up, track number 4, we've got "Walk Away," which is letting go of toxic relationships, basically. It's one of those reflective songs, and it's emotionally charged about leaving a damaging situation. We've all been there, I'm sure. The production and the stripped back, it's no as synth pop as you'd expect, It's very stripped back, and to me that highlights the vocals, the raw vulnerability. And to me, the song is all about just reinforcing the emotional weight of choosing to say goodbye and walking away. And it's not everybody that has the strength. It took me ages, but that's another story. Next up is a song called Maybe, and I was just listening to that as I was walking home there. And again, it's about uncertainty and just hope and love, basically. It's a bit more up tempo than the previous track. It explores the emotional confusion that comes with romantic ambiguity. The instruments mirrors the to me it's the instruments mirror the fragility of wondering if the love is reciprocated. It's yeah, a beautiful track. Not much can be said about it, to be fair, unless you actually listen to it. And again, like I've said, music is so just diverse. Next up is Me, Myself, and I. It's a song about self-reliance. You know what I mean? Me, myself, and I. The track to me, it's a confident declaration of self-empowerment. The beat of the track, it's cheeky. It's not really what you would expect from this album. It's a very standout track. Um, to me, it reinforces the theme of reclaiming personal strength after emotional hardship, whether that's a relationship or you know trouble with life in general. You know, number 7 is one of my favorites on this track. On this album, it's called Lucky Time. It's searching for belonging. I mean, we've all been there. We've all felt that we didn't really belong anywhere, and we've felt that we don't really, like the metaphor of Lucky Time to me represents the desire of fitting in, happiness, and fulfillment. It's such a nostalgic kind of sound. Yeah, it's again, it's bittersweet, to be fair. At this track, it's powerful, it's lyrical, and yeah, again, it's I think it's one of those hidden jewels. Um, Number 8 is a track called "I Just Want You to Love Me." What can be said about this? It's one of the most emotionally raw songs on the album. To be fair, it's one of the most emotionally raw songs that I think Darren's ever done. The track proper, as far as I'm concerned, lays bare with the craving for validation and connection, and who doesn't want that? The vocal delivery on it is just sublime. The sound of the song, the instruments on it, the beats, the melody. Yeah, honestly, it's raw, it's visceral. That's the best way I could describe it. It really tugs at the heartstrings. Um, who doesn't want loved, right? Number 9, we have Setting Sun. This is about, to me again, this is about closure and acceptance. Who doesn't want that? The setting sun to me symbolises the end of a chapter, whatever that chapter is, relationship, marriage, job, whatever. The arrangement reflects the process of acceptance that something is over. And it's not all the time that we can easily do that. The melody of it, the vocals in it really to me suggests the acceptance rather than being sad that something's over, because we can be both. We can be sad first and then we could be like, yeah, I need to get over this, because if I don't, then it's only going to be damaging. And nobody wants to be self-damaging. Number 10 is 100 challenging things a boy can do. This is beautiful, this track. It's about masculinity and emotional complexity. The track, to me, challenges the idea between masculinity, and it explores the emotional pressures that men face. The vocals, the complex instruments reflect the tension between vulnerability and the societal expectation to remain strong, and composed. It's basically like, here, mate, get your shit together. No, everybody at the age of 21, 18, 19, 20, 21 has their shit together. And do you know what? That's okay. You know, fuck society. You do you, boo. You do you. Number 11 is Words. Beautiful video. I will post some of the links to videos and that here. To me, that is the limitations of communications and love. Darren really grapples with the difficulty of expressing deep emotions through language. It's very minimal, this track. It's weird, but to me that allows the lyrics to stand out, reinforcing that sometimes feelings are just beyond words, because we could all feel stuff, but it's all about putting the words out there. Sometimes not everybody can do that, and again, that's okay. Number 12, the tuning of violins. To me, this is about emotional resolution. Closing the album, this track symbolises emotional alignment and acceptance. You can see a theme here based on this album, and the metaphor of the tuning of the violins suggests new chapter, new beginnings, whether it's job, whatever, finding peace, after an emotional upheaval again, regardless of what that is. The vocal delivery, it's very calm, it's very melancholy. It's such a beautifully worded song. And yeah, so overall, disc 2 explores a lot more of the emotional side of things, the resolution, the self-acceptance, the vulnerability, where like disc 1 kind of grapples with a lot of personal stuff. Disc 2 moves towards emotional clarity and peace. The blend of the pop to the ballads, which if you know Darren and his upbringing with Savage Garden, they were all about all their ballads and stuff. I love a ballad, me, so I do. I absolutely love a ballad. I mean, who doesn't? But overall, the album has genuinely been such a. There's never been a point in my life where I've never been able to pop on a track from this album and be like, oh my God, I'm either going through this right now or I've been going through that. And, especially recently, peel the curtain back a little bit. I was recently in love and, that didn't really go well. And you know what? That's okay. It's not okay, but hey, we ride. It's okay that life doesn't always go your way. Life is a series of tests. Life is a series of obstacles, and even just recently, I nipped to my wee local shop for a wee pint of milk for a coffee, and I had this album on, and there's a place, just coming back from mine, where I was just sitting on a step listening to this album and being like, almost as cheesy and as cliche as this sounds, it's like he's singing to me, because I could hear the words and I could resonate with the words and I could feel the words. And yeah, Darren is such, right, okay, I'm going to get real with you here. Darren is such an inspiration to me. He always has been, lyrically, musically, you know, he doesn't like this word, but as a celebrity, he is so real. He's so real. He's just released a memoir, a book called Unlovable. Again, I'm going to pop the link to buy the book in the description, with various other links. If anybody's interested, I don't expect people to be, but that's fine. What I will say is, if you've made it to this part of the video, please check out this album, because if you don't, you are missing some gold. You know, you could essentially be like, if somebody sends me a song, right? If somebody's like, "Hey, I want you to listen to this song," I'm going to listen to it because I don't know if I've said this in the last video, but I genuinely mean this with all my heart. If somebody sends you a song to listen to, they're sending you a part of themselves. And I know that that might sound cliche, but I genuinely believe that. And, you know, with this album, um, there is something on there for everybody. You know, whether you're struggling with life or, you know, you've just gotten out of a relationship, or, you know, there's something for everybody in this album. And I would be remiss to think that people are missing out on beautiful, wonderful music. Now, you know, even if you're like into your rap or your metal or whatever genre you're into, me personally, I would listen to anything because, like I've said, if somebody sends you a track, you listen to it because they're showing you their arse. Do you know what I mean? Not literally, but you know, and you know, for somebody to be vulnerable with you like that, um, like if I quickly take it away, this was from a song that at one point, a really good friend of mine was going through a bit of a time, and they were like, "Can I send you a song to try and encompass how I'm feeling right now?" So they sent me the song that's from, and you know, ever since then, it's the song itself is the and it wasn't a Darren Hayes song. So you know, when somebody sends you music, listen to it because they're trying to connect with you. They're trying to, you know, sometimes music does a better job of explaining how people are feeling than what words actually can. Um, but I digress. This delicate thing we've made, I feel, should be protected at all costs. It is one of these albums that, even though it was in 2007, man, that was a long time ago. I do believe that it stands the test of time, especially among Darren Hayes fans. I put up on my page that I was going to do this album review. There was a few people kindly commented on it. So I'm going to read some of the comments. Yeah, someone just says that it's a phenomenal album by a phenomenal artist. And do you know what? I genuinely can't um I genuinely can't fault that because it truly is. And again, it's one of these ones that um that does genuinely stand the test of time. Um and I think as well, it's when it comes to music, people people gravitate towards what they're interested in, but at the same time, people are always, well, they should be. Let me just clarify that. Should be willing to, I would say, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Be more versatile. Be more versatile. That's the very one. So, found these comments finally. So, one person wrote, I loved a few tracks on this album. Listen, all you people, How to Build a Time Machine, Lion's Heart, and Neverland, which really resonated with me because of the domestic violence subject that runs through the track, which my mum had to endure at the hands of my own dad, which Darren would have been privy to with his dad. Some of the lyrics in this track are quite dark, like waiting till his dad is in a warm bath and plugging a toaster in and chucking it in the bath with him. Which, you know, again, these some of the lyrics on Neverland are rough. to say the least. And someone else said, I loved this album. It's a lot of songs for a start. I always resonated with On the Verge and Lion's Heart. I found I found this album a really different sound apart from the odd track. And you know, it isn't normally what you're used to with Darren Hayes. But do yourself a favour. I'm going to plead you one more time. Listen to it. I will put up the Spotify links. I will put up. Does anybody use Apple Music? I don't know, but I'm going to put up the Spotify link to it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I was kind of rambling on about there, trying to look for those comments, but should have been a bit more prepared. Life lesson. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. The next episode I'm recording next Monday. Yeah, I'm recording two episodes next Monday. Wish me luck with that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I love you all. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscriptions to the YouTube channel. Anyway, guys, one last favour. If you've made it to this part of the video, I thank you so much. I want to manifest getting Darren Hayes on this show. So tag him. He's not on Twitter anymore. So tag him on Facebook, Instagram, you name it. No Twitter. He's not on Twitter. X. Do people call it X, or do people still call it Twitter? Because I still call it Twitter. Twitter or X. But anyway, tag him. Like, share, subscribe. Do all the good stuff that the algorithm likes. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. And, you know, without being too cliche, just remember, we are all on the verge of something wonderful. Till next time.